Okay, so we Pandit Vaggo 5 things, and we come back to our long discourse which we have been discussing for a long time, Sammaditthi Sutta. So what have we studied till now? Who will tell us?
Nutrients, Four Noble Truths.
So we are discussing what is an exposition of Sammaditthi, right view. So how to understand, right understanding, the very first element of the Eightfold Noble Paths. So this is the discourse given by Venerable Sariputta on how do you understand the right view. So how many ways he explained till now? Have a look at it. Tell us how many ways he has explained. The first was the wholesome and unwholesome, kusala, akusala. So he gave exposition there. If you know what is wholesome, what is not unwholesome, then, and you know the root of it, not just the root of it, then you are right understanding. That was the very first. The second was nutriment. So if you know what is the nutriment, and again what is the origin of that, what is the root of it, what is the origin of it, what is the dissolution of it, what is the path to dissolution. So you will see that paradigm of Four Noble Truths is applied everywhere. So it is applied to nutriment. So if you understand nutriment, then there is actually the main thing, Four Noble Truths, which I mentioned last time, is the standard exposition on Sammaditthi. Then we have aging and death. And from this point onwards, from aging and death point onwards, the teaching goes in such a manner that you are integrating Four Noble Truths along with the Paticca Samutpada. So you are having a complete integration of all that. So you can see how one by one, step by step, will take us in that along with the Paticca Samutpada. So he says, then his friends keep on asking him, some other way you tell us, some other way you tell us. So he tells, what is another way in which we can understand? We can understand by aging and death. This I think we read last time. That if one understands what is the aging and death, so then he understands the origin. The key things, let me repeat from here. The key thing was, what is Jara Marana? And then he says, Jati Samudaya Jara Marana Samudayo, Jati Nirodha Jara Marana Nirodha. That is, with the arising of birth, arises the old aging and death, and with the cessation of birth, arises the aging and death. So it's quite obvious, this much is quite obvious. It is not telling us the immediate cause of aging and death being environmental problem or falling ill or getting into various diseases. It's telling us the root cause. The root cause of aging and death is that you are born. So once you are born, aging and death is bound to happen. So that's how and then in the same way as that, following the paradigm of Four Noble Truths, he says, what I am Ariyo Athangiko Maggo Jara Maran Nirodha Gamani Patipada. This Eightfold Noble Path is the path leading to the cessation of aging and death. What is that Eightfold Path? That he speaks, which we have understood. And then he says, Yatakho Avuso Ariya Savako Evam Jara Maranam Pajanati Jara Maran Samudayam Pajanati Evam Jara Maran Nirodham Pajanati Evam Jara Maran Nirodha Gamani Patikata Pajanati. So Sabbaso Raga Anusayam Pahaya, and so on. Then the same standard formulation is said, that when a noble disciple has understood aging and death, its origin, its cessation, and the way leading to its cessation, he here and now makes an end to the suffering. That too a noble disciple is said to be right. So this is the one which we had studied last time. Now we can go on to the next one, that is the 93 in Pali.
Sadhu avusoti kope apucham siya panavusoti.
Pe, as I had mentioned, means repetition of the past. So because again and again the monks are asking, okay, very good, yes. So he again asks the same question, is there some other way? Then what do you say? Siya also. Yes, there might be.
Yato ko avuso ariya savako jatincha पजानाति, जाति समुदयं च पजानाति, जाति निरोधं च पजानाति, जाति निरोधगामिनीं पटिपदां च पजानाति। एतदतापि को आवसो अर्य सावको सम्मा दिट्ठी होती, उजुगतस्स दिट्ठी धम्मे अवेच पश्यदेन समन्नागतो आगतो इमं सद्धाम।
Standard phrase. So what he say? Yatakho avso aryasavako jatincha pajana. When a noble disciple, jati means birth, he knows the birth properly, understands the birth. Jatu samudayancha pajanati, the origin of birth. Jati nirodhancha pajanati, the cessation of birth. Jati nirodhagamining patipadacha pajanati, and the path leading to the cessation of birth. Etatvat in this manner also. Also brothers, Arya Savako Sammaditya. In this way also, friends, Arya Savaka, a noble disciple, has right view. And then there is a further qualification, right view. Then Ujugatasadityulu means straight view. Dhamme avecha pasadena samannagata, that he is arrived at the full confidence in Dhamma. And Agato imam saddhani is said to have arrived at Dhamma. He has to be established in Dhamma. Then next, Katamapanavso jati,
Katamapanavso jati, Katamo jati samudayo, Katamo jati nirodho, Katama jati nirodha gamini patipada.
So what is the meaning? I think we should be able to translate it also. Katama means what?
What?
Avso means friend. Jati means birth. Is what friends? Is birth. Katmo, jati, samudayo. What is the origin of birth? Katmo, jati, nirodho. What is the cessation of birth? Katma, jati, nirodha gamini, paripada. What is the path leading to cessation of birth? Okay. Yes. Next. This again is a repetition from the. You find same thing if you recall in the our Satipatthana. So you should be able to read and translate.
या तेषां सत्तानं तं हि सत्तानिकाये जाति संजाति उक्कन्ति अभिनिबन्ति खंदानं पातु भावो आयतनानं पतिलापो अयं उच्चतावसो जाति.
So first you translate the last word. Ayam means this. Uchat means spoken. Avso means friend. Jati. This is called jati. What is called jati? Now you tell.
Ya tesam sattanam.
Tesam means in this or in that.
In this or in that. Sattanam is existence.
Being. So the birth of the being in this various orders of being. Okay. Various, because beings can be in various orders, human being, animal, devas, and so on. In various orders, these various beings, Sattanam means beings, Sattanikaya means orders of beings.
Jati.
So then we give the equivalent, so synonyms of.
Okay. Jati, Sanjati, Okkanti.
Okkanti means descent into the womb, because some people descend into womb. Right. Some is abhinibanti means generation means they are spontaneously reborn, because it is said in Deva Loka they don't have the womb and they can kind of keep kept in conception for a long time. They are spontaneously reborn if one goes to them. That's what is said. So therefore generation is used for that word. Abhinibanti.
Khandanam patu bhavo.
Khandanam means 5 aggregates. Patu bhavo means obtaining. Manifestation.
आयतनानाम
पतिलाभो. आयतन क्या होगा? 6
yes. आयतन
जो हमारे This is a contact
gaining those
gaining those.
Gaining those.
You know, you can understand it. One in terms of getting 5 aggregates, another in terms of getting 6 sense organs and so on. This is generally birth.
But the labor is gaining.
Labh होता है, here it is, but labh actually means obtaining.
भाव समुदया जाति समुदयो भव निरोधा जाति निरोधा.
This you will recall is a part of Patisamuppada. This phrase, bhava samudaya.
With the arising of with actually
Bhava
is
means becoming.
With the arising of becoming, birth happens, jati samudaya, and with the cessation of becoming, cessation of birth happens.
So this word bhava is a technical word. So this translation they have translated as being actually, but bhava has a multiple implication. You know, it actually means the process of that strong wish to be. We wish to be, we want to be. So we all have a. You remember we talked about there the various kinds of tanha, trishna. We remember what are the trishna? Kama tanha, bhava tanha, vibhava tanha. Kama tanha is sensual pleasures. Bhava tanha is becoming. We want to become something. We want that we should remain. ऐसा नहीं हो कि हम खत्म हो जाए. That feeling, no? So there is Krishna है कि बने रहे. कुछ ना कुछ तो बने रहे. अभी ऐसे हैं तो अगले जन्म में थोड़ा हायर पोस्ट पे आ जाएंगे और हायर पोस्ट पे देवता बन जाए, कुछ हो जाए. You don't want that we should become extinct. There are other people who इतने fed up हो गए लाइफ से कहते हैं खत्म हो गई मुसीबत छुट्टी. So there is a vibhava. So that is the real meaning. So here bhava is used in that. The real cause of birth is there is a strong bhava. So bhava samudaya, jati samudaya. So that is the arising of the translation here is being. So being here means that communically active. The karma is being there, you know, that more mental volition to be. So it means volition is there. The volition of strong volition to be, there is the arising of birth. With cessation of that volition, if there is no volition to be, just at peace, then there will be no more birth. But that will happen only when all desires have been extinct. Sankhara is finished over. There is no volition left. And the way leading to this, what is it? Then, of course, next is saying, so then whole eightfold path is explained, that the way leading to cessation of birth is just this. Yato ko avuso. Avuso means friends. Yato means when. Yato ko. Ariya savako, a noble disciple. Evam jatim pajanati. This birth which I have explained to you a short while ago, evam jatim pajanati, understands this birth. Evam jati samudayam pajanati, understands the origin of this birth. Evam jati nirodham pajanati, understands the cessation of this birth. Evam jati nirodha gamining patipadam pajanati, understands the path leading to cessation of this birth. So, sabbaso raga anusayam pahay. So, he then raga anusayam gives up with latent tendencies of raga. And then all those things pay means the repetition of whatever is happening. So, what is he basically saying? So, when a noble disciple has understood birth, just as we understood earlier aging and death, now we are talking about understanding birth in its true sense of the term. So if you understand it in the depth, what is the real cause of birth, the root cause of birth, then you also understand what is the cessation of birth, how that cessation can happen through the eightfold path. Then we say he has arrived at a right view. And then he will have, in the due course, arrived at the true dharma, means become established in dharma. So then what will be the next? And again there is a repetition of same thing, so we can omit it, repetitions. So the 94 will be the next thing. So what will be the next thing? You can see from this, from the portion which I have highlighted. What was the cause he said? Bhava samudayo, jati samudayo. So now next exposition will be what is bhava. So next exposition goes on. What is the next way he says? यतको आवुसो अर्य सावको भवंच पजानाति भव समुदयंच पजानाति भव निरोधंच पजानाति भव निरोधगामिनीं पटिपदा पजानाति एतद्वा को आवुसो अर्य सावको सम्मा दिट्ठी होती उजुगतस्य दिट्ठी धम्मे अवेज प्रसादेन समन्नागतो आगतो imam sadhamma. So same thing is being repeated. Now what is the key issue being focused on? Bhava, becoming. Okay. So saying good friend, then the bhikkhus again asked him, is there some other way? He said, yes, there might be another way. And what is that? When a noble disciple understands bhava, understands becoming, the origin of becoming, the cessation of becoming, and the way leading to the cessation of becoming. And then he explains, what do you mean by becoming? So that is the important thing. Katmopanavuso bhavo, katmo bhava samudayo, katmo bhava nirodho, katma bhava nirodha gamini patika. So same questions, 4 questions being asked with respect to bhava. So what is the answer? Let us read that.
So the clinging or becoming.
Yeah, the clinging is the cause of becoming. Okay, root. Becoming. So this is the whole Paticca Samutpad being explained. No? Simultaneously it is getting explained. That why is the birth happening? Because we have that strong wish to be. We want to be all the time.
Okay.
So we want to be. So that is the becoming. That is the bhava. And why we have that bhava? That we'll explain later. Upadana samadayo. Upadana is a strong clinging, grasping. So that grasping gives rise to becoming. He's explaining, in elements. Each small element is being explained.
Tayo
Tayo means 3.
Okay. Tayo me avuso bhava bhav काम भवो रूप भवो अरूप भवो.
So this is a very important kind of. So you remember we started this, if you recall, that they tried to understand Abhidhamma. That was the original perspective which Deepak wanted. So these are the small hints they are given. Tayo me avuso bhava. 3 kinds of becomings are there. What are they? Kama bhava in the sensory sphere. Sensory, where their sensory pleasures are there. Rupa bhava, where there is material, fine material. Rupa bhava means Rupa Brahmaloka and other areas. And Arupa bhava, where there is immaterial existence. So these are associated with planes of existence and also planes of consciousness. So you recall we had discussed in the very beginning that Kushala, Akushala. I had pointed out that there is a classification of consciousness according to the nature, which we had said is Kushala, Akushala, and something which is neither Kushala nor Akushala, which we had said as Abhyakrita. And then we had said these are of 2 further kinds. One was Vipak Chitta and Kiriya Chitta, functional and the resultant of the past karma. So that was one classification of consciousness. This gives rise to another classification of consciousness. What is that?
The root bhava
Kamavachara, one is called Kamavachara Chitta, which means the consciousness which arises in the sensory spheres, which means all the human realm, Deva realm and the animal realm. So they are the sensory where people seek sensory pleasures. So that is called Kamavachara consciousness or Kamavachara Chitta. Then there is Rupa Avachara Chitta. Rupa means Rupa Brahmaloka actually, referring to the consciousness which is normally present in Rupa Brahmaloka. But it does not mean that we cannot have it. So those who practice jhanas deeply, they can reach that Rupa Brahmaloka, Rupa Avachara consciousness. So these are the consciousness which arise because of deep jhana practices. So and first to 4th jhana are Rupa jhana. 4th to 5th to 8th jhanas are Arupa jhana. So they give rise to consciousness which is immaterial. So according to the Buddha's description of various realms of being, so there is these 3 primary realms. One is the realm of where the sense sphere enjoyment is there, sense sphere pleasures are there. So they are called Kamavachara. Then there is Rupavachara, where there is a fine material form, which means ethereal form. They are not having physical bodies like us. It's called Rupa. Still there is Rupa. Form is there, It's a very subtle form. So they are the Devas, the Rupa Lokas, Rupa Brahma Lok. Then there is Arupa Brahma Lok, when there is no form, there is only mind operates. So these are the three planes of consciousness, and then in Abhidhamma they talk of the fourth plane of consciousness, Lokotardam, which means transcendent consciousness, which is experienced only in the state of Nibbana. So this becomes another classification of the consciousness. So you can see the varieties of classification. Then in each of them you have further subdivisions, and that's how all those 89 or 121 kinds of consciousness arise. These are the kind of what should I say, intimations of Abhidhamma which we find in the sutras. These have been further expounded in the Abhidhamma and then given detailed explanations.
Upadana samudaya bhav samudaya, upadana nirodha bhav nirodha.
This is the key point of the Paticca Samutpada. Right? What is happening? Bhava samudaya means bhava, origin of bhava is upadana. Grasping. Upadana means grasping.
Ayame
Adigo, Atadviko, Maggo, Bhava Nirodha. Same thing is being repeated, and this is the path leading to that. What is the path leading to cessation? Eightfold Noble Path. So what is he trying to say? That when a noble disciple has thus Yatoko Avuso, yes, we can read that last one.
Yatoko Avuso, Ariya Savako, Evan Bhavan Pajanati, Evan Bhava Samudayan Pajanati, Evan Bhava Nirodhan Pajanati, Evan Bhava Nirodha Gamini, Patipadan Pajanati, So Sabaso Raga Nusayam, Pahaye Pe Dukha Santakaro Udoti, Eta Batapi Kho Avuso, Ariya Sa Vako, Sammaditi Hoti, जो गतासा डिट्ठी धम्मे अवेचा पसादेना सम्मना आगतो इमन सधामा.
So this is the conclusion of this paragraph this is how, friends, a noble disciple Arya Savako evam bhavam pajanati, understands what is becoming, understands the Bhava Samudaya, the origin of becoming, understand cessation of becoming, understand the path. Then we say he is also having Samadhi. So this is the next way of exposition. And the way he explains Upadana Samadaya, Bhava Samadaya, that is included in the hint for the next question and the next answer. What is Upadana? What is the next? So the question again is same thing. And then they say, so we can see it from here. What is he says there might be Siya Avuso, then he says Yatokho Avuso Arya Savako Upadanam cha pajanati, Upadana Samudayan cha pajanati, Upadana Nirodhan cha pajanati, Upadana Nirodha Gamining Patipada pajanati. Etad Vatapiko Avuso Arya Savako Sammaditi. So how can what is the next phase of it? When a person understands the Upadana, understand the grasping. When a person understands grasping, what is the origin of grasping, what is the cessation of grasping, what is the path leading to cessation of grasping, then also you can say he has understood the right, he has got a right. And what is then again the same question will be asked, Katam Chapana Avuso Upadanam, standard formula. So what is the Upadan, what is the grasping, what does it mean? So then he gives the answer which we should read. Chattariya.
Chattarimani Avuso Upadanani. There are 4 kinds of friends, there are 4 kinds of Upadans.
4 kinds of
Upadanam, Dittu Upadanam, Silabbat Upadanam, Attavad Upadanam.
Let's read. Let's
Upadanam means clinging to sensual pleasures. Dittu Upadanam, Drishti is view. So, clinging to various views. Shilabhat Upadanam. So, Shila, so here it says ritual. So, Shila is
It actually refers to the various observances.
Right. So yeah, whatever practice
Vows are there, vows and rituals are there.
So clinging to them, and attavad upadana. So atta is anatta wala atta. Atta is self.
Clinging
So clinging to this self. So these are the 4 kinds of.
So this is something which we haven't come across earlier till now. That is 4 kinds of grasping. Basically, one is the sensory pleasures grasping, kama upadana. If you see other 3, they are all of the kind of ditti only, views, grasping to views. Now, 2 of the views have been made very distinct because of their importance. Otherwise, views means various kinds of views. It refers to the various philosophical doctrines which are prevalent at that time, which are prevalent even today. Some people believe in God, some people believe in soul. Some people believe in soul being different from God, and some people think this soul is a part of the oversoul, and all kinds of various speculative metaphysical doctrines. So they are come under the various views. So there were people who believe that this whole business of karma is all hogwash, not for anyone believe in it. Others believe that everything which happens is due to karma, so you don't have to do anything. Others said that you should, to experience karma, you should do austerities. So there are all various kinds of views. So ditti is view. Ditti actually means views. Actually it is, when ditti word alone is used, it usually refers to wrong view. So here ditti upadana means attachment to various kinds of views. And then out of them 2 are specifically mentioned. Shilabhat upadana, this also is a view that you are attached to certain observances, you are attached to, कि नहाओगे तो नहाने से पुण्य मिल जाएगा, ये हो जाएगा, वैसा करोगे तो हो जाएगा, ऐसा various kinds of beliefs, various kinds of views. You believe in various things as the means to getting enlightened. Then attavad upadana means strongest belief which we have is the belief in self, I am. This is the most tenacious of all the beliefs. And therefore this is being kind of these 2 beliefs. Shilabhat upadana was very strong in that. In the Brahminical paradigm, that they are very strongly believe in those, the various kinds of rituals should be done, fire ritual, or other kinds of moon ritual, sun ritual, so many rituals used to be there. And are there still, so therefore these 2 have been specifically pointed out. And others are more philosophical. So these are the 4 kinds of graspings which we should be aware of.
The Shilabhatta and the Anatta are also 2 ingredients of the first stage.
The fetters which we talk about. The very first fetter is that of Sakkaya Ditti.
Right.
It is essentially other way of putting attavad upadana, Sakkaya Ditti. Then the other is Shilabhata Paramas, that is attachment to them. Third is Vichikitsa, doubt. There is a doubt about it.
एक क्वेश्चन आया हुआ है, व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन क्लिंगिंग एंड क्रेविंग?
Yeah, the craving, when it becomes strong, when you get obsessed with the craving, then it becomes clinging. Or you grasp it. Actually, clinging, that's why people use the word grasping. Means you hold on to that clinging very strongly. Then we say it is grasping. So tanha upadana. With parijjasumutpad we say, no? We say, so if we take a few steps back, vedana paccaya tanha, tanha paccaya upadana, upadana paccaya bhava. So if you remember that, in that context it is. So vedana paccaya tanha means there are feelings and then condition the arising of clinging, tanha, the wanting. Tanha actually, the translation in English, the real good translation will be wanting. I want something. I want something to happen and something not to happen.
So I like that translation जो आपने उसके RightView में कौन था? The lack, the sense of lack.
Lack, yes. This is David Law uses that word, sense of lack. So that is tanha. But when it becomes obsessive, some people translate tanha as desire also. And then this upadana is translated as grasping. So grasping to that desire. So holding on to that desire very strongly. But desire is not a good translation because desire is a natural urge which arises. If there is hungry, there is a desire for food. So you can't say it is a tanha. It's a natural phenomena which is arising. If you hold on to that, become obsessed with it, then it becomes tanha. And you grasp it whole strongly. So it is the intensity of the grasping. Intensity of with which you hold on to it becomes the grasping.
सर जो डिजायर नहीं, दी खाने की जो वो इच्छा होती है उसको तन्हा बोलेंगे सर?
That is not really tanha. That's why even normal food ki jo, there is a sensation in this abdomen which says something should be eaten, which is interpreted by us as something should be eaten. But if that is translated into that I have to go to a 5-star and eat there only, then it is becoming, you're translating it into some other form. Is it?
So one is physical,
One is physical, another is then kind of interpreting it in a different form. Physical need to have, there is a need there. That need becomes a want. Need is for a food. Need is not for particular kind of specific food.
भूख लगी वैसे जलेबी खानी है। तन्हा समुदय उपादान समुदय तन्हा निरोध उपादान।
So this is that eightfold Paditya Samutpada link which is being Tanha Samudaya Upadana Samudaya. So this we have discussed this. Ayame Varigo Vatangiko Maggu. So the same thing is being repeated. And then the conclusion of this section is Yatakho also. You like to read last second.
यत्को आवुसो अरिया सावको एवं
उपादानं
पजानाति एवं उपादान समुदयं पजानाति एवं उपादान निरोधं पजानाति एवं उपादान निरोध गामिनी पटिपदं पजानाति.
So that is the explanation, that when a noble disciple understands, comprehensively understands what he understands, this grasping, the origin of grasping, the cessation of grasping, and the path leading to the cessation of grasping. And what is that path? That is the eightfold noble path which leads to cessation of grasping. Then he can be said to have etadvat ko also ariya savako sammadikthi hoti. Then we say the person has right view and the correct understanding, and he is established in Dhamma. So that is the. Then we come to the next section. Here, what is the next thing would be obviously, what another thing be there would be with respect to tanha.
एक क्वेश्चन आता है कि जो भी आपने क्रेविंग और क्लिंगिंग में डिफरेंस बताया, तो एक थोड़ा सा व्यू मेरा ये था कि in context of how these words have been used, craving is more of या तो मेरे पास कुछ नहीं है and I want it, या मेरे पास कुछ है but मुझे और चाहिए, versus clinging which seems more like मेरे पास कुछ है and I am holding on to it. क्या ऐसा भी कुछ उसमें एक एंगल है?
ग्रैस्पिंग है ना, उपादान का जो मीनिंग है एक्चुअली ग्रैस्पिंग है, होल्डिंग ऑन टू, व्हेन ग्रैस्पिंग टू द डिजायर. सो व्हेन वी सी तन्हा and we see काम तन्हा, भव तन्हा, विभव तन्हा. So there are distinct kind of tanhas. So therefore tanha does not only imply the wanting in that sense, wanting something, it also means wanting something should not happen. That also is a part of it. Wanting that I should be extinct, which sounds very strange, right? But when a person is critically ill and all, थक जाता आदमी तो कहता है छुट्टी हो गई. Or in the day-to-day life it is interpreted as we had seen, wanting to become something, wanting that something should not happen. ऐसा ना हो जाए, मैं बीमार ना हो जाऊँ, मेरी प्रमोशन ना रुक जाए, मेरे घर में कुछ दिक्कत ना हो जाए. So there also विभव तन्हा, मेरे जो द्वेष ना बढ़ता चला जाए, मेरे राग ना बढ़ जाए, ऐसा ना हो जाए, ऐसा ना हो जाए. So that also is interpreted as tanha. Then tanha pachya upadana means upadana means holding on to that. Let me just see the dictionary exactly, if we can help, if the dictionary can help us. Let me just see. Because sometimes the dictionary gives the more deeper words for that sometimes.
But is it always like a person tanha prachaya upadan?
Tanha conditions. Prachaya means conditions.
Right. So upadan के लिए tanha होना जरूरी है. That means
Yeah.
It's more that it is very difficult to figure out the context in which those words are used.
Exact
Right now,
translation.
एक्चुअली मुझे लगता है जैसे क्लिंगिंग
Yes,
जैसे
it's
मैं
true.
कह रहा था कि
What you
है
have,
उसको hold कर रहे हो,
बिल्कुल.
अब वो तनहा से भी क्लिंगिंग हो सकती है.
Right.
आपको किसी चीज की इतनी स्ट्रॉन्ग वांटिंग है कि उससे भी क्लिंगिंग हो सकती है.
When tanha becomes strong, it becomes clinging. These are only intensity of that. वेदना जो है, वेदना प्रत्यय तन्हा का मतलब भी आपको अच्छा लग रहा है तो you want. There's a mild feeling of it. It's not so strong. And that feeling becomes so strong, one gets obsessed with it, then it becomes. So let me read out to you this. It's a good thing so we can understand it better. But they they break the words in their root form and all that. So what he's saying literally, upadan ka that material substratum by means of which an active process is kept alive or going. Fuel, supply, provision, supported by, drawing one's existence from. So these are the various ways where this word is used. Because same word is used in different forms. So it's provided with fuel, drawing upon, grasping, holding on, grip, attachment, finding on support or by or in clinging to, nourished by. They are classified as 4 upadans, and then same thing is in kama, ditti, sila, battata. So in the dictionary they have given. Or the grasping arising from sense desires, speculation in belief, rights, belief in soul and so on. Even they have given some references to कहाँ पे ये word use हो रहा है. So then upadan is also used with respect to khanda then, panch upadana khanda. So there it is explained, usually as panch upadana khanda, factors of 5-fold clinging to existence. That is the meaning given. So basically, grasping would be this. So we will have to really figure it out in terms of the intensity of fervor with which we hold on to something. Desire arises sometimes. हो गया पूरी हो गई तो ठीक है, but we are not so strongly attached to it. But some things become so strong, become obsessive. ये तो होना ही चाहिए. ऐसा नहीं होगा तो आसमान टूट पड़ेगा. Then we say it becomes the Vedana has led to Tanha and Tanha has led to, because the root of that is from Vedana. From feelings we feel like अच्छा है ये तो बनता रहना चाहिए, ऐसा तो होता ही रहना चाहिए. और फिर हम चाहते हैं उसको grasping मतलब we hold on to that, you kind of become obsessed about it. Then we see obsession would be probably classified as grasping. So then you come to the next one. 96. तन्हा वाली बात है ना, यतो खो आवुसो,
यतो खो आवुसो
हरिसावको तन्हंच परास.
हरियस आवको तन्हंच पजनति तन्हा समुदयांच पजनति तन्हा निरोधनंच पजनच्यति
निरोधगामिनी
तन्हा निरोधगामिनी प्रतिपदंच पजनति
वदति को आवुसो हरिसावको सम्मादिट्ठी होती. So in this way also a noble disciple has sammadhitti. What is the way? When he tanhancha pajanati, when he knows tanha, understands tanha, tanha samudayancha pajanati, when he understands the origin of tanha, tanha nirodhancha pajanati, when he understands the cessation of tanha and the path leading to the cessation of tanha. So now then there will be explanation of katamacha panausu tanha, what is tanha, what is tanha samudaya, and then the important thing comes here, which is distinguishes this from others now. So you can read Chaya avuso tanha kaya. Chaya means
6 types
छह होते हैं हिंदी में, छह बोलते हैं. 6 types of tanha kaya means classification.
रूप तनः, शब्द तनः, गंध तनः, रस तनः, पोटर्भ तनः, ब्रह्म तनः.
Yes. Okay, let's stop here first. So now see, so these kind of things are the hints how Abhidhamma arose. तो अभी तो पहले तो हमने उसमें तो तन्हा था, तन्हा सती पठान में 3 थी, ये नहीं काम तन्हा भाव तन्हा. यहाँ पे क्या हुआ, ये 6 हो गई. So समझना way of classification. You can't say कि 3 है कि 6 है और उसको झगड़ा करने लगे. You have to understand what is he saying. 6. What is the 6? He is now relating tanha to the source of tanha. What is the source? Wherever the feeling is arising, because he has to eventually relate it to that. So feeling arises because of interaction of senses. So he relates chha tanha, 6 kinds of tanha. What are they? Rupa tanha. You see something, I see a form, I get attached to it and I say I buy it and keep it here. So rupa tanha. Then there is shabda tanha. I hear some voice and I say I buy the CD. You suniye baar baar. Shabda tanha. Similarly, gandha tanha, smell, rasa tanha, taste, kotabha tanha, touch. Kotabha means touch. Dhamma tanha, thought. Dhamma means mental content.
6 sense organs and mind.
So 6,
5 sense organs and mind.
Chadayatan. So tanha operating at all these 6. Then these 6 could be again of those further 3 kinds. So it will be 6 into 3, 18 hoga. If you put it further, classify it on the points of kama, bhava tanha, vibhava tanha. So at each of these sense stores, you can have kama tanha, you can have bhava tanha, you can have vibhava tanha. So 6 into 3 ho gaye, 18 ho gaye na classification. Then you can have internal or external. So you make it further, multiply by 2. Then you can have those which are at the moment happening, those which are happened in the past, those which will happen in the future. So you multiply by 3 for that, so 108. So there are classifications where 108 kinds of tanha are given. And they have formulated, so as to give an exhaustive, so that you can't really go beyond that. So, ultimate description is given of the various kinds of tanha. So these are the kind of hints, where these, जैसे दीपक ने कहा था ना, हमको प्रोवोक किया था, अभिधम्मा सीखना है. So this is where Abhidhamma is arising from. Such discourses, because people said यहाँ तो 6 का, तो वो कहाँ गए? उन्होंने कहा वो 6 तरह के 3 हो सकते हैं, तो 18 हो गए. Then this way they went on multiplying and became large numbers. So that's how these classifications arose. So we understand these kinds of tanha, but 6 is quite easy to understand. It's quite obvious. This is 6 sense stores on which each one of them craving arises. And how it arises? Yes.
Vedana samudaya, tanha samudaya, vedana nirodho, tanha nirodho.
This is the key thing. Linked with the paticca samuppada. Because of feeling, the tanha arises, and because of cessation of feeling, there is cessation of craving. And ayameva thandiko maggo, that is it. And what is the cessation of feeling part? It is craving, it is this noble eightfold path. And then the last session, you can just read it. Yato
avso ariya savako evan tanhan pajanati evan tanha samudayam pajanati evan tanha nirodhan pajanati evan tanha nirodh gaminin patipadan pajanati so sabbaso raganusayam.
So that's same continuation. So basically what he is saying, so when a Arya Savaka, noble disciple, knows this tanha, when he understands this craving, obviously this understanding means comprehensive understanding. He has to understand that these are 3 kinds and this is 6. Each door there is a craving, and the craving is not necessarily only pleasure. It's not just काम tanha, it could be bhava tanha. और ऐसा हो जाए, मुझे कोई अच्छी सी चीज मिल जाए जिससे देख के मैं बड़ा खुश हो जाऊँ, मुझे अच्छा शब्द सुनने. So it could be of any kind. काम tanha, bhava tanha, vibhava tanha, ऐसी चीज ना देखने को मिले, मुझे कुछ गलत ना देखने को मिले. So this way you can see the various manifestations of tanha.
So bhava tanha and vibhava tanha in चीजों के context में तो समझ में आता है. For example, if you let's smell, you or taste. जैसे ये मिल जिस तरह का टेस्ट मिल जाए इस तरह का टेस्ट नहीं मिला, काम तन्हा टेस्ट के हिसाब से वो काम तन्हा
sensory pleasure, then there it is the possibility of becoming sensory. I want the pleasure to happen. There is a desire for, I must get this particular food, but I like it so much, I want it. Isn't it? So that will be kama tanha. Bhava tanha means I want to become that, in the sense of getting transformed in that form, becoming. So there is, becoming is seen both in the terms of becoming again in the new life, and if you interpret it on day-to-day basis, it also is in terms of achieving something, getting something, possessing something.
Bhav with sense of taste कैसे है? जैसे हर for every item we had three: काम, bhav and vibhav. For these, for example, these taste के लिए bhav कैसे आता है? काम तो
clear आता है, काम तो clear है. You are right. You have to think really. You must think what does the bhava mean with respect to taste, for example.
Or you want, because you want more of it would be part of the calm.
Probably the distinction would be there. I can't really get a thing. Maybe we'll have to see. Because the desire to enjoy the taste will be kama tanha. Desire to accumulate things to be enjoyed would probably be bhava tanha. Probably, I don't know. We'll have to really investigate. And desire that this should not, this kind of a taste should not happen. ये सामने नहीं आना चाहिए. Avoiding that altogether. That will be practical.
Maybe for example, जैसे मुझे याद है कि बच्चे को कड़वी दवाई दो, एक चम्मच देने के बाद दूसरा लेता है वो, कि कड़वी है, I don't want it.
So the question here, why is Sangya not taught here, which interprets the Vedana?
Yeah, because here the explanation is from Dikthi perspective. The explanation is being given on the basis of Dikthis. The Sangya is governed by Samma Dikthi actually. If the Dikthi is right, Sangya will automatically change. So Samma Dikthi is the forerunner of everything, right view. So if the view is right, then the evaluation will automatically be right. Okay. So we are understanding right view in so many ways because we are absolutely transforming our Sangya. Okay. Sangya will become Panya by transformation, by having a proper right view. So it is included, the word is not used, but it is a part of it. So now we can see from here how the teaching goes. 6 kinds of tanha ka hai. So what will be feelings? Again there will be 6 kinds of feelings in the next session. So this is very important, we must understand it. Feelings which are being mentioned are of 6 kinds. Sometimes we tend to get feel only, by feeling only mean bodily sensation. That's just one of them. So you can see in the next one, then the implication, if you see the 97, we can leave aside the repetitions and focus on these 6 things. So what is this tanha, what is it, Vedana? Katmapana also Vedana. So I'll read out the usual things quickly. Katmapana also Vedana, Katmo Vedana Samudayo, Katmo Vedana Nirodho. So what is Vedana? So what is the answer? Now we give the answer. Vedana Kaya. 6 kinds of Vedanas are there. What are they?
Chakku Samphasaja
Vedana. This you should remember actually. This is very important. Chakku Samphasaja Vedana. What does it mean? Samphasan is phasa. Phasa means contact. The Vedana which arises because of contact with the eye. So which means eye seeing an object.
So
all the 6 senses will naturally all the 6 will come. Sota Samphasaja Vedana, Dhana Samphasaja Vedana, Diva Samphasaja Vedana, Kaya Samphasaja Vedana, Mano Samphasaja Vedana. So this is the 6 kinds of Vedana which we must understand. So this we can then study in the next time. We will have some good Vedana with this.